Now I'm going to have to play Walt Space Song. So that I can now dance in my head. I have to play that big song. I like it. It's almost as if it was made for this song.
Hoping for more. I only want to be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. Ones in love with the night, they light up like a cigarette. I only want to be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. The ones with little to win, nothing to regret. Well, I'm trading rubies for gasoline. Marijuana makes me nervous. Gin makes me mean. I'm speaking in tongues, looking for what's true. I'm red on the outside, bluer than you. I only want to be with the ones.
Well, welcome to the Hideaway, the real world. When I was just a kid in Birmingham and Uncle Murray, turn on the radio, Hank Williams' music was the only thing they'd play. And then I found WLAC, and late at night Muddy Waters would sing to me. Those same three chords still ring in my heart today. The same three chords, the joy they bring. It's not black or white, doesn't mean a thing. It's the hillbilly music, the blues they play. Those same three chords I'm playing today. Then I found Elvis, changed my life, and I saw Bo Diddley at the Armory. I talked my mother into buying my first electric guitar. I sat alone in my room at night and tried to make the damn thing sound alright. I thought those three chords were gonna make me a star. And then the Beatles turned my head around, and I and Tina Turner set my soul on fire. And I promised myself a life as a music man. I played the blues, I thought I did, but John R. wasn't gonna spin any hillbilly kid. It's back to those same three chords in a rock and roll band. It's the same three chords, the joy they bring, not black or white, it doesn't mean a thing. It's a rockabilly music, rhythm and blues they play. Those same three chords I'm playing today. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Hideaway. Welcome to the real world. This is the only thing I've seen other than the grocery store.
Well, don't make all those people out in the
feel like
virtual
eggplant.
world feel bad.
That's
Yeah, because we're just welcome them to their living room.
Yeah. Welcome to John Kelly's living room, the Hideaway. Thank you very much for doing this, and thank all of you for coming out. Thank you so much. And to Rob Pastore, handsome Rob Pastore, and the world's most talented and attractive human being, Rebecca Pulley. That's the best I can do. That's there's nothing higher. There's no
That's
higher.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's so. Since there's no like rule or anything, I guess, so you're likely to hear a lot of stories that you've heard before. And in fact, I don't tell jokes because I can't remember jokes. I like jokes. I like the idea of jokes, but I don't know that I've ever gone on stage and told a joke. But an unknown celebrity came to me in my dreams last night. This is true. Nobody would make up something like this. And he said, when you play tomorrow night, when you go to play, you have to tell this joke. And I said, I don't tell jokes. I can't remember. He said, you got to tell this joke. And I go, okay. And he said, what's the difference between a hedgehog and... And I said, I don't know. And he went, new. I swear this was my dream, so that's my joke. That's the...
I don't get it.
I don't either. And I don't even in the dream I knew that there was a mystery to who the celebrity was. I knew he was a hot shot. I knew he was somebody important. He was a movie star or a politician or something, but I don't know who it was who gave me that joke. Or I would give him credit
That's
for
from the Three Stooges, isn't it? Wow.
Oh yeah, there's kind of a little. It was not one of the Three Stooges though. I would have known that. That's the only joke you'll hear all night. Fools like me, baby, hustling the street for over-the-counter romance. Women like you, yeah, you calling the tune. You crack a whip and I dance. And I would walk to the end of the world for you. Walk anywhere that you wanted me to. I would walk to the end of the world, baby, for you. I can't stand the heat of passion's fire, the flame that you hold in me. Yeah, I can't let go of what you got, the chains that you got on me. And I would walk to the end of the world for you. Walk anywhere that you wanted me to. I would walk to the end of the world for you. If I have to keep walking to keep you by me, I'm gonna keep walking, try me. If all the angels is far from heaven call on me to do more, a lady man's line and a busted Valentine won't bring you back to my door. I would walk to the end of the world for you. Walk anywhere that you wanted me to. I would walk to the end of the world, baby, for you. I'd walk to the end of the world for you. Walk anywhere that you wanted me to. I would walk to the end of the world, baby, for you. Thank you very much. To spend one night with you, our little rendezvous, to reminisce with you, that's my desire. To go where gypsies play, in some dim cafe, dance the night away, that's my desire. Share a glass of wine, I look into your eyes divine, till I can feel the touch of your lips pressed close to mine, to hear you whisper low when it's time to go. Sherry, I love you so, that's my desire. Whisper low when it's time to go. Sherry, I love you so, that's my desire. Thanks very much. You know, in my whole life, well, I guess it wouldn't have really started until probably the end of 1955, but there have only been 4 people to come through my life who could get away with turning up their collar. And I knew, I was around all 4 of those people. Elvis, of course, and you know, for all of us, that's where it came from. But Benny Joy, Tampa's own Benny Joy, he was just a rock and roll star that, for whatever reason, the world didn't know about it. And Benny could get away with turning his collar up. And I was lucky enough to work several times with Gene Vincent, and Gene Vincent wouldn't have looked right without his collar turned up. He was just. He was the best. And the 4th one was my friend Terry Clark, who I first met in Germany. And Terry's collar was always turned up. Terry was a rock and roll star. This is a Terry Clark song. It's bang that drum, stomp your foot. Outside the night falls black as soot, and the dogs and the skinny Halloween razorback cats. Outside the tides were scavenging on the flats. What they bring back, we'll throw in the stew. We'll cook it in the heat of the rockabilly blues. Fill that glass, leave a space for that girl with wanderlust on her face. Just ask me and the band what we're gonna do. Say, I got a song, darling, it's just for you. Alcohol's got a flame that burns bright blue. We'll drink it in the heat of the rockabilly blues. My mother worked a bobbin, the needle and thread. Jack Hammer nearly shook my father to death. Passed it down to me. I got all shook up, said my prayers with my fingers around an Elvis cup. This Danny boy sings Bama Lama Lou, the song of the South, the Irish rockabilly blues. Sweeter dancing like a chicken on a hot tin roof. Hope the road stays straight, cause the steering's loose. Cockfight on the mountain, dog fight in the yard. These songs are born from a life that's hard. The road that's straight never did run true. The road is the Irish rockabilly blues. Plantation song, America wakes. Outside where the poor heart breaks, the moon on the levee, on the old dirt road. It's a room that'll break the computer code. Showcased a night in a town near you. They call it the Irish Rockabilly Blues. Hoist the flag, kiss my ass 1-2. We'll sail under the Irish Rockabilly Blues. For Terry Clark.
Hey, Rob, how does your collar look turned out?
I didn't want Ronnie to have to change his number to 5.
5. I'm going to give it. I'm going to say, yeah. There you go. That's a.
If you could do a bow tie with it, that would be phenomenal.
I guess we should put James Dean in there because that red jacket, you know, it had the collar turned up. So 5, 6.
And the
Of course, I never counted this up until just now, so it's maybe there are more, but. If I had all the tea in China, I guess I'd drink that too. Queen sells her jewels and gives me all her money. I'll spend it all on you. If I had the nerve, I'd head to Avion Avenue. Sell these poems for whatever they'd give me. I'd spend it all on you. Finished work on my masterpiece. I painted it all bastard blue. When I sell these memoirs for millions of dollars, I'll spend it all on you. Thank you very much. I just finished, it took me a long time. I couldn't really get started. I doubted some of this stuff, but I just finished Rick Bragg's biography of Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh.
And, I mean, you can hear those stories a million times, and no matter who's telling them or how they're putting it together. And if it's a great writer, especially a great Southern writer like Rick Bragg, the stories get told inside out. But after, we're down to what? Just Jerry Lee Lewis now, right? We lost Little Richard, and Fats is gone, Chuck Berry died. We're down to the killer. Probably the last one that any of us would have thought would have been the one. So, and this, I feel guilty even considering this a song. It's just a story out of a newspaper. I think it already rhymed when I read it in the paper. One bloodshot eye behind a golden lock, a slur in that southern drawl. Bullet in the chamber and the derringer's cocked, the cat is pinned her through Graceland's wall. pulled himself from behind the wheel, hollered for everyone to hear. Get that son of a bitch out of the bed tonight. Tell the king that the killer's here. It's 2 a.m. Memphis time. Elvis is lost in dreams. Jerry Lee's on a lost old bench again. He clears his throat, waves a gun, and he screams. His heart's a pumping scotch and speed. The brave won't be bothered with fear. Get that worthless waste into the gate tonight. Tell the king that the killer's here. You treat me like the devil, and him like some saint on high. Hell, I'm no angel, I'm a pretty nice guy. Southern skies wet and dark again. No charges were ever filed. Yeah, but the cops in Memphis share a knowing grin. Don't ever get Jerry Lee Lewis riled. They hauled him down and sobered him up. He asked him with an evil sneer, did anybody have the balls tonight to tell the king that the killer was here? Hey, why don't one of you boys run up to the house and get Elvis Presley? This is a waste of taxpayer dollars. Police cars strewn all up and down the place. Find Elvis, tell him that Jerry Lee Lewis is here. He invited me here. He asked me to come by to see him. It's not my gun. That is not my gun, officer. I had no idea the thing was loaded. Speaking of loaded, I'm going to need something to drink. One of you boys run up the house and get Elvis Presley. Tell him that Jerry Lee Lewis from Faraday, Louisiana is here, and I've come to talk about salvation in Jesus Christ. The real king of rock and roll, and Sam Phillips and Sun Records and RCA in New York City, in the right time at the right place. Good God Almighty. I want to take my AAA card. I seem to have just damaged some front end here. Let's see. Hey, Elvis. Thanks very much. A mutual friend sent a message from Phoebe, Jerry Lee and Maya's daughter. Said, tell Ronny Elliott that's not the way it happened. I was dreaming about Lottie again last night. I thought she was sitting at the piano. I was dreaming in 3/4 time, and I thought I smelled fried peach pies. All the angels in heaven never laughed so hard, the stories that girl could tell. She could play about anything, sing about anything, never make it rhyme. Oh, Alabama, I'm looking for angels in the red dirt clay. Laughter I have pronounced holy, we'd all like to be consumed by something. I cross my heart before I pray, and I cross my fingers before I lie. And I wash my hands for 20 seconds. I remember paydays and silver dollars, and I remember the rainstorms in the summer. Make those big gray watermelons slick, and it was awful hard to get them back from the field to the tractor to the trailer. And I miss those walks to the Jemison plunge down the trail. We'd stop and we'd see Bashful. You want to give this little pony an apple, but he'd bite you. So you mostly just wave to him from across the lane. Hey, Bashful. Oh, Alabama, I'm looking for angels, the red dirt clay. I remember Uncle Murray's store and Grape Echoes by the score. I remember the 54 Bel Air. Jemison was only 2 blocks long, and there's only one side of the street, so I guess really, depending on your mathematics, it's only 1 block long. Aunt Newt was a postmistress, so I could hang around the post office as long as I wanted without it being considered laundering. And I would read every single word on every single wanted poster in that post office. I couldn't decide at that time whether I wanted to be a juvenile delinquent or a rock and roll star. After a while, I'd go across the street to the drugstore where I'd spend the summers trying to keep up with the rock and roll news, and so they carried Dig and Cool and all the good magazines. But in Jemison, they also seemed to carry Hepcat's Review. It cost 50 cents, twice as much as all the others, so I guess it was better news. And it only came out 4 different times, I think, and Elvis was on the cover 2 at the time, so it gives you an idea. It was a quality publication. We'd spend most of our money at Cobb's Hardware. We'd take our silver dollars down there. I bought a pocket watch. It lasted until the Levi's hit the washing machine. That was the end of the pocket watch. My cousin George, he was a better investor than I am. First, he bought a knife. This had to do with the juvenile delinquent thing. Until we got it to the watermelon patch, and Nubbin Davenport said, "Let me see your blade, George." George proudly took out his new knife from Cobb's Hardware, passed it over to Nubbin. Nubbin opened it up, looked at it, said, "George, that's a roofing knife. That's a Japanese roofing knife. I believe you bought a Japanese roofing knife. You can't be much of a juvenile delinquent with a Japanese roofing knife. He also invested in black hair dye so that he could look like Elvis. Turned George's hair green and Aunt Newt's pot purple, and George didn't look a thing like Elvis. We were no better rock and roll stars than we were juvenile delinquents. Oh, Alabama, looking for angels, the Ritter Plain. Oh, Alabama, looking for angels, Ritter Plain. Thanks very much. You better hope nobody else shows up because I'll probably tell my joke again if they do.
Did you say you were going to tell your joke again?
I'll bet that joke shows up everywhere. I'll bet tomorrow it's gone viral. That's the, yeah. Not heavily, anyway, that's the, Old boots tapping time in a honky-tonk saloon. Neon lights of a jukebox out of tune. He's a fiddle king of the South. Throw your money and hush your mouth. Skid Row cowboys sure gonna sing and dance. Red roses on his shirt and Roy Rogers pants. Skid Row hillbilly one-man band sure gonna sing and dance. A bottle of wine and a one-night stand. Every night your chance. It's a long way to heaven by the seat of your pants. Another night of barroom brawls over wasted truck stop queens. Beer-bellied mamas poured into tight blue jeans. He's a fiddle king of the South. Throw your money and hush your mouth. Skid Row Casanova with an angel soul. Rosin up your bow and let the good times roll. Skid Row hillbilly one-man band sure gonna sing and dance. A bottle of wine and a one-night stand. Every night's your chance. It's a long way to heaven by the seat of your pants. It's a long way to heaven by the seat of your pants. Thank you.
Hey, Ronny, the other night, was I dreaming this?
I don't know.
The other night, you had we were talking about this song. Did you say that you played that in front of Jimi Hendrix? Was I taking,
Well,
am I drugged?
yeah, I guess it was in front of Jimmy. In fact, I think my friend Spencer and I had just written that song when we opened for Jimi Hendrix at Curtis Hickson in Tampa. Jim, is your collar turned up? Let's see. No, the Jim behind you. All of you need to turn your collar up. It seems to be catching on. So yeah, I guess we did play that song in front of Jimi Hendrix. It was the beginning for us of country rock, a good career move, good timing, right? As Jimi Hendrix was on the ascent, we decided to start a country rock and roll band. John, is there any chance I could get a little more of my vocals in a monitor? Thank you.
So Ronny, did I dream it the other night, or did you tell me?
I told you you'd be hearing this joke everywhere. This is just the beginning.
That was good, Rob.
What's the difference between a hedgehog and... What does that even mean?
Once we figure out who the celebrity was, then it'll all click.
I think that's probably the key to this whole thing.
I think that's kind of sums up 2020 also.
This might win some joke award for 2020. 2020. That's Put on your blue dress, Dixieland's seen better days. Let's go in town and see the stock car races at the new speedway. Don't forget your coat and your hat. See if we can borrow your sister's car. There's a jump band playing boogie woogie down at the Elks Lodge bar. Put out the cap, get out your purple beret. Let's go watch flathead Fords race six-cylinder Chevrolets. And let's go dance till the band just can't play anymore. Let's come home and let's make love on a hardwood floor. Forget the body, save the soul. I'll give the poets and the scientists love. I'll take rock and roll. I got a few bucks in my Levi's, more where that came from. I got a paycheck I haven't cashed yet, and Clemmy still owes me some. Check the back of the cabinet where you hid the slow gin. I promise I'll be a good boy, it won't happen again. If you wear those stockings with the seams up the back, know you'll drive those hillbillies crazy down at the quarter-mile dirt track. Later we can dance real close every time they play a slow song. You still make the Class A feature if you don't take long. Forget the body, save the soul. I'll give the poets and the scientists love. I'll take rock and roll. That blue dress sure looks good to me. I like the way it rides up above your knee. If anybody asks you, you tell them we're from out of state. Put some coffee in a thermos, we can stay out late. Don't forget your keys, the beret, and the lucky strikes. Bend over in front of that lamp, baby. You know what Daddy likes. Forget the body, save the soul. I'll give the poets and the scientists love. I'll take rock and roll. Thanks very much.
I love that song. I can't ever imagine you saying to somebody, bend over and you know what Daddy likes.
Yeah, it's a. I live. My entire life is lived vicariously through my other life. I'm a romantic devil in these songs. That's instead of a lonely old hermit who has found out that he's able to cook. I think I'm. Yeah. It took some time in a pandemic. I barely missed that other one, that one that Donald Trump insists on calling the 1917 pandemic. The 1918 pandemic, there's a hint there, you know, it's the, I don't know. Yeah.
I heard that excellent, terrible pandemic for cooking joke.
But I thought that's what I heard too about a frying pan.
Oh yeah, it came back there somewhere.
Smart.
I can't
Someone's
take
witty
I
and
can't
smart,
take credit for it.
Just because I can't tell a joke doesn't mean that my audience can't tell a joke.
That was smart and witty.
I'll bet my audience can all cook better than I can too. Harry's gonna have to eat his words. The girl was a midnighter. I've seen pictures of her in a tight skirt somewhere up on the stage. It's ginseng, reciprocal motion in the backfield. Left over from the days when romance was all the rage. In a shock to the system, little Ricky grew up to be a beatnik. All the angels in the Hollywood Hills still remember the day when the artists and the sirens and the models all danced the mambo. We led the handcuff anarchist on his way. My nerves are bad tonight. I heard the poet sing. I'm rhyming verbs, trying to learn how to swing. We had a dream all the karma in the world could be bought with Buddha's money. All the laptop flip-flop girl groups sang the song. The gay caballero and his lovely lesbian counterpart. The ventriloquist redhead daughter who could do no wrong. I've got a fire in my mind. I really cannot be confined here. There's a bomb on a boat anchored on the edge of Havana Bay. I got the red China blues, maybe just a touch of vertigo. A life that's up to its neck in disarray. My nerves are bad tonight. I heard the poet sing. I'm rhyming verbs, trying to learn how to swing. quest for glory, mired in the muddle of ecstasy, in the search for truth, hiding under every rock. The sticks and stones, the seeds and bones and blue caps, the price you pay for a life you live too rough. My nerves are bad tonight. I heard the poet sing. I'm rhyming verbs, trying to learn how to swing. Yes, my nerves are bad tonight. Ooh, I heard the poet sing. I'm rhyming verbs, trying to learn how to swing. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Handsome Rob Pastoria. I think that's going to catch on. That's a
Handsome Rob.
I mean, it's kind of obvious, isn't it?
Am I a horrible human being if I order a beer from here? Did you have one of these orange ones?
it's probably got a name
Be
too.
the Motorworks V Twin Lager.
V-Twin. I've never heard of this. It's delicious.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good up here at CU.
Ronny, do you need one?
No, I don't need one.
I'll take a 6-pack.
It'll. Yeah, just Rebecca, so 6.
How many you got? That's it.
I'm just kidding. I'll just get one.
It's you know, what are you rebelling against, Johnny? What do you got? How many beers do you want, Rebecca? How many you got? That's it. It's Rebecca's Marlon Brando thing. We do impressions up here, tell jokes. There'll be a little tap dancing later. So we'll have to peel the carpet back. Is that okay, John? Can we peel the carpet back for the...
We could find spots. I see some spots between the carpets.
Pick your spot on the dance floor.
Rob is a phenomenal break dancer. Not a lot of people know that.
You are?
He pops and locks as
We
well.
could
You are.
We could jump up on the piano and the table like the Nicholas Brothers? Is that what their name was?
They were two of the dancers who hopped up on tables.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
So was my third wife, now that I think about it.
Oh, you're such a practical man.
Ken, is that you, or are you coming up to... thank you very much.
We're not really doing
It's
that.
good to see you. You can't tell who you're seeing. They everybody has a...
Not to go off on more tangents, and we're not even doing it, but now I think you need to write another verse so they don't rob the trains anymore, because everybody actually looks like they're about to go rob a train.
That's true.
I love that song. Yep. Are you going to play it?
There are dreams that touch your head. There are dreams that fill your heart. There are dreams that haunt your soul. There are dreams that fall apart. The earth moves, the heart stands still. I never burned like this before. I guess I never will again. In these dreams, she was always leaving. Now she's always coming back in these dreams. And it seems I'm always dreaming, I'm always scheming. My heart's come apart at the seam. Borrowed finery, a hole in my heart. Time was once on my side, and now it tears me apart. In these dreams, she was always leaving. Now she's always coming back in these dreams. And it seems I'm always dreaming, I'm always scheming. My heart's come apart at the seams. I fight the karma, it brings me to my knees. I traded dignity for hope. I'm begging, mercy please. In these dreams, she was always leaving. Now she's always coming back in these dreams. And it seems I'm always dreaming, I'm always scheming. My heart's come apart at the seams. In these
dreams that touch your head, dreams that fill your heart, dreams that touch your soul, and dreams that fall apart, dreams that touch your head, dreams that fill your heart.
There are dreams that touch your head, there are dreams that fill your heart,
Dreams that haunt your soul, they're dreams that fall apart.
dreams that touch your head,
And dreams that fill your heart.
there are
Dreams that haunt your soul and dreams that fall apart.
dreams touch your head, dreams fill your heart, dreams haunt your soul and dreams that fall apart. There are dreams that touch your head, there are dreams that fill your heart,
Dreams that haunt your soul and dreams that fall your heart.
dreams that touch your head, there are dreams that fill your heart, there are dreams that haunt your soul and dreams that fall apart.
Thanks very much.
Sleeping on the floor in Alabama, Big Joe Turner on the radio, freezing half to death undercover. I gotta get up early, got a long way to go. Played 3 nights in Dothan. Made myself a promise to do something with my life. And I'm losing sleep thinking about Billy's first ex-wife. Broke my nose in a parking lot in Birmingham. Bled for an hour and a half. Played down to hillbilly blues for a couple $100 and a laugh. Drove straight through the country highways, thinking about a rock and roller's life. Yeah, but I'm losing sleep thinking about Billy's first ex-wife. Man, she couldn't really be that pretty, could she? He describes everything a girl should be. I don't know, maybe I'm just dreaming. I keep picturing her in a life here with me. call me a poet. And I never can get this guitar quite in tune. But you name a Nervous Norvus song, and I know it. And I just can't get back on the road again too soon. Sometimes I wish I had someone to come home to. Oh, sometimes the loneliness cuts just like a knife. Yeah, but I'm pulling out, thinking about Billy's first ex-wife. Thanks very much.
How many ex-wives did Billy have?
Well, Billy's dead now. But I believe he only had the one ex-wife who I never really met at all. But I will say that I didn't completely make it up because she did sound, she owned horse farms in Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Well, good. That's what Billy said. I don't know. I'd say of course, I'll believe anything anybody tells me. By the way, I have CDs up here. You're probably wondering, CDs? What's a CD? But but you can have any of these for $10 a piece, or it's highly negotiable. The thing probably says a different price. So and then there are some propped up on the side here that were DJ copies that never went out to DJs that are open. And so if you want any of those are. And these might be hard to get rid of too, but these are free. So let's see. So if you take one of the free ones and you don't like it, give it to somebody you don't like for a Christmas present. Fuck 'em.
That's actually, that's your best joke tonight, Ronnie. That was a good one.
I've got a repertoire. I've got a million of them. That's it. Where were we? Oh, yeah. I only want to be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. Ones who love of the night, they light up like a cigarette. I only want to be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. Ones with a fire in their soul, nothing they regret. On a romance needing fire, I'm looking for poetry, searching for desire. I'm living for goodness, suffering for sin, flat on my back, guzzling wine again. Well, I'm walking around heaven, diamond dust on my shoes, all the angels are naked, singing the blues. I got a copy of Lolita, in case I need it. I got a monkey on my back and I'm trying not to feed it. I'm stepping over traps, set for lines. I'm hiding from fascists, waiting and crying. I'm looking under rocks for all that is true. I'm red on the outside, bluer than you, Mark Zuckerberg. I'm trading rubies for gasoline. Marijuana makes me nervous, gin makes me mean. I'm looking at peace, planning on war. I'm living on crumbs and hoping for more. We want to be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. In love with the night, they light up like a cigarette. I want to be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. Ones with nothing to lose but a $2 bet. feeding the fire, feeling the flames, while Tantamaku is taking names. I'm burning in sunshine, drowning in rain, while defending the drummer who's criminally insane. I wanna be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. They're in love with the night, they light up like a cigarette. Well, I wanna be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. Ones with nothing in their pocket but a $2 bed. Well, I wanna be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. Then they're in love with the night, they light up like a cigarette. Well, I wanna be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. Ones with a fire in their soul and nothing they regret. Thanks very much. In 1947, Billboard magazine still had race records, country and western charts. Hank Williams released his first record in January of that year. The Howlin' Wolf met little Junior Parker in 1947. They decided they'd start a band together. Good God. Roy Brown either wrote or stole Good Rockin' Tonight, depending on who you talk to. And his good friend Winoni Harris recorded it for King Records. And a little boy in East Tupelo, Mississippi heard that record. Elvis Aaron Presley was 12 years old then. He was taking his guitar to school every day that year. I was born in Birmingham, Alabama in 1947. Now the radio has gone to hell. Hank Williams has gone to heaven. They ask you when rock and roll was born. You tell them 1947. Louis Jordan put out a record in 1947. It was called Reet, Petite, and Gone. It was a rock and roll record. The Shelton Brothers recorded an old song they had gotten off of a 78 by Blind Lemon Jefferson called Matchbox Blues. It would go on through Carl Perkins' hands on Sun Records before we got it back from the Beatles in 1964. Johnny Otis ran out of money out on the road with his big band. He moved back to East LA, pared it down to a little rock and roll band. Herb Abramson and Ahmet Ertegun started Atlantic Records in New York City. Art Root started Specialty Records in Los Angeles. I was born with the rock and roll, a fire and a joy down in my soul. drive down uphill. Tell him I was born in 1947. It cost $1 to get into the Apollo Theater in Harlem in New York in 1947. On Tuesday, that was amateur night, and $1 was a lot of money. 2 different times that year, Ruth Brown won amateur night. And remember Ahmet Ertegun and Herb Abramson from that last verse started Atlantic Records? Well, they signed Ruth Brown to a recording contract. The first money they ever really made was with Ruth Brown. Atlantic Records was known after that as the house that Brown built because of Ruth Brown. And you could see the best music in the whole world there at the Apollo. And it was the beginning of rock and roll. Jimmy Liggins made a record called Cadillac Boogie. Some years later, Jackie Brenston, who was Ike Turner's saxophone player, took that song and rewrote it. And that's the one that they refer to as the first rock and roll record, but Cadillac Boogie, it's got my vote. In Roswell, New Mexico, nobody had ever heard of Roswell, New Mexico at the time, but it was the headlines for all the newspapers. UFO, that's where the term comes from, 1947, Roswell. The U.S. Army Air Corps claimed they had shot down a UFO, an unidentified flying object. Before that, we just referred to them as flying saucers. Now it was getting scientific. They proudly announced that they had little silver men with big green eyes stretched out on gurneys, and they would get back to us and let us know what was going on. You can still get t-shirts in Roswell that have little silver men with big green eyes. No thanks to the United States Army Air Corps. They came back a couple of weeks later after saying nothing, and they said, oh no, there was no flying saucer. Our bad. We made a mistake. Bad data. Fake news. Weather balloon. We shot down our own damn weather balloon. I'll tell you what I think. I think that somebody from a better place came to bring us all those words of Muhammad and Jesus and Buddha and all the good guys. You guys be good to each other. Just be nice, would you? I mean, what's all this? Why does everybody have to fight with everybody? And they brought us rock and roll. And the United States Army Air Corps didn't know what to do about any of this, just like they didn't know what to do about it later with Selma and Arkansas and Birmingham and all that. And now, you know, what are they going to do? They just don't know what to do about it if people try to get too nice and stand up for love. Why do we have, you tell me why we have, our biggest expenditure, the most money that we spend in the United States is for armaments, and after that's oil, and oil has to do with armaments, and armaments has to do with the oil. Why don't we spend the money on peace and love and clean energy and taking care of people and health care and all that sort of thing? Everybody would be better off except for those guys who have stock now in Northrop and that kind of thing. And the hell with them. We can take care of them. We can get them a health care plan because everybody will have health care. It seems easy to me. So I'm not positive, but that's my idea of what maybe happened in 1947 in Roswell. I could have it wrong. Yeah, the radio has gone to hell, and Hank Williams is still in heaven. They ask you when Ronny Elliott was born, you tell them 1947. It's all gone to hell. Except for Benny Joy and little Willie John and all those Roswell big green-eyed silver men, rock and roll. 1947. In 1947. 1947. Could be. I'm the original conspiratorialist. Only mine are good things, you know. There are nothing bad happens in mine. Good stuff happens in mine. I don't think there should be anything wrong with fake news or conspiracy theories if it's a good conspiracy. If it's
It's entertainment.
Entertainment. I call it entertainment. I loosely refer to what I do as entertainment.
I did get a call from Jerry Lee Lewis. He said that one is the way it happened.
Yeah, right. I'm not sure. I think Jerry Lee does believe in stuff, you know. It's well, who don't? Well, my mother took me to see Big Joe Turner. If there's a Satan in hell, he's sure gonna burn her. She started me down this road to rock and roll. She let me stay out all night long to hear little Willie John sing his song. Thank God for mothers with no better sense than mine. This road to rock and roll, it's the only one I know. It's been a little rough on me, it's not paved with gold. I wouldn't trade it for money to burn, 'cause if there's one thing I've learned, yeah, the joy in your soul means more than what you earn. Well, my mother borrowed money for my first guitar. She sneaked me into the shows, the Cuban Club bar. She bought me Elvis records and skinny pink belts. By the time the Beatles hit American TV, I knew there was no other life for me. I've been raising a rumble in hell ever since. I went to school for a while, thought I could kick this habit. Chuck Berry called with a job, I knew I better grab it. I've always followed the path of my soul. Jim Vincent wrote in my book, nice working with you. Once again I knew 9 to 5 was through, and it's back down this road to rock and roll. Road to rock and roll, it's the only one I know. It's been a little rough on me, it's not paved with gold. I wouldn't trade it for money to burn, 'cause if there's one thing I've learned, yeah, the joy in your soul means more than what you earn. Thank you.
I want to do this all the time.
What?
Just play music in general.
You've been demoted. How about when Gail Tripsmith walked in and she went, "They're your backup musicians?" It's like, why? How come these people with talent are playing there with you? I don't know. I think that was it. That's it.
Gail is amazing.
She
I don't
is.
think she has a jealous. I don't think that could happen. She's just fantastic.
She is great. She sounded great outside there, too. It was really good stuff this afternoon when I got here. I hear the brothels in China are all painted blue. I hear the brothels in China are all painted blue. I call for finer opium, louder music for my crew. I cheapened her with diamonds. I was born to be her slave. I cheapened her with diamonds. I was born to be her slave. I offered her enlightenment. She took everything I gave. You can buy them for nickels. You can sell them for dimes. Buy them for nickels. Sell them for dimes. Vote them into office. You can hang them for their crimes. I got stars in my pocket. I got muscles on my arms. Stars in my pockets. Muscles on my arms. You can ply me with your liquor. You can have me for your charms. I've written my will on the stars across the sky. I've written my will on the stars across the sky. I was born in Birmingham. You can bury me in Shanghai. I met the Queen of Glasgow. She offered me a lift. I met the Queen of Glasgow. She offered me a lift. She offered advice for my love life, broken glass for a gift. I hear the brothels in China, they're all painted blue. The brothels in China, they're all painted blue. I call for louder music and finer opium for my crew. Thanks very much. It's Rebecca Pulley and Rob Pastore.
And that guy right there, that's Mr. Ronny Elliott.
Is my collar still up, Rob? Did it fall down?
Your collar is always up in my heart, Ronnie.
Thank you. You got the king of broken hearts and the heartbroken king. There's a line that separates them and it hardly means a thing. You got the scarlet riders reading aloud the purple prose along a road out of Memphis we call the Overdose. Haunted by tragedy, driven by desire, to hearts full of song, souls full of fire. You got a mother load of music in a volunteer state, fighting dirty, talking physics to illuminate what the poets of the war show the boys of Music Row, painting Purple Mountains fuchsia everywhere they go. Alcohol and dope, great hope's gone wrong, hillbilly hearts full of fire, soul in the song. Rock and roll hearts beating 4/4 time. Hope fades, truth balances in the name of the rhyme. With the sons of fortune knocking on the doors of desire, haunted by the tragedy and scorched by the fire, the rare and elusive American point of view, spilling the blood of Arabia in the Paris Review. All the beautiful losers from the heart of the South, Western boots on their feet, gold teeth in their mouth. All the radio programmers are praying for rain, and the masters of photography are looking in the same. Got the tastemakers taking odds over periwinkle blue. Either this wallpaper goes or by God I do. You stand for your ones who need you helping, you know it, with the heart of the warrior, the spirit of the poet. Hearts beating 4/4 time. Hope fades, truth balances in the name of the rhyme. Hurt hope, politics, battleground states. Got the possum on the bottle on stage with the shakes. The king's on the floor where he fell from the throne. I'm watching from the swamp and I'm chilled to the bone. This stuff I'm doing's not real and I know it. Invitation from Clovis, I'm about to blow it. Rock and roll hearts beating 4/4 time. The hope fades, truth balances in the name of the rhyme. Trading on your name for the sake of crime. Grace fades in the face of karma every time. Rock and roll hearts 4/4 time. Grace and karma over time. Rock and roll hearts 4/4 time. Thanks very much. I don't believe any of the free merchandise has moved at all. That's the buggy whips. That's the business that I'm in. Buggy whips, spats, CDs. Oh, I should. Rebecca, can you help me with silk screening some spats? Could I do some Ronny Elliott spats with anybody?
What is spats? I can do the silk screen.
What, were you raised in a barn? For God's sakes, let's see.
Yes, actually I was.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Spats, spats. It's the.
Is that like in the 90s, like the dolls for kids, for young girls? The 1890s. They haven't been around for a while. Well, they were they were like leggings. They were like snake leggings, only they were for more not to keep from getting bitten by snakes. Moccasins.
No,
They came up over your ankles and went down over your shoes, and they came up to about here. And,
Oh,
you know.
like a leg warmer. Like a 1980s like flash dance leg warmer?
Yeah, but it would only really warm your ankles, I guess. Well, it's an ankle warmer, I guess is what it was.
Okay. I'm so
Oh,
lost
spats.
right now. I have no
Why
idea
didn't you
what
say
you're
so?
talking-
Spats, yes, that's it.
How does that, how does silk screen,
Well, if I, like those more common musicians try to peddle T-shirts and stuff, clearly I can't sell merchandise, but spats, who else has spats? It's the,
so we can whip some of them up
Oh,
real
yeah,
easy.
yeah.
Like basically leg warmers.
yeah, sort of. It might be hard to find blank spats to silk screen to begin with.
We're
I don't
gonna
know.
talk a little more about this later.
I hope nobody's watching this on Facebook or anything and stealing my joke material and my merchandise ideas. You never know.
We'll know in a few days if all of a sudden leg warmers are popular again.
Yeah. If there are Taylor Swift spats out there tomorrow, actually, I'd like to have some. You know who wore spats? Now that I think about it, Mr. Bluster wore spats. He might have been the sort of the end of spats.
What about Spats Domino?
No.
I need a picture.
Get a pic. Can you find a picture of spats for her?
Elvis
Elvis Presley didn't like Tampa. He said the weather was too hot. In 1956, lipstick on his car and a sunburn was all that he got. A pervasive perfume had Tampa, not unlike an open dustbin. People he met, he couldn't forget, were too rich and too white and too thin. Elvis Presley didn't like Tampa. He said he wasn't coming again. But he was back on stage in a white jumpsuit by the time the 70s began. Arrogant hicks and racist hillbillies. Elvis thought it seemed odd. The town that gave us Benny Joy considered the king to be God. Had to agree there with Elvis. He was indisputably right. Ignoring the genius of the hometown hero was more ignoble and stupid than slight. Elvis Presley didn't like Tampa. He said the girls were too nice. But he met a few and seduced one or two. Slept with most of them twice. Most of the men look like monkeys, sporting redneck attitude. Though for my own part, there's a place in my heart for the simple and the plain and the crude. I had to argue a little with Elvis, only a little, it's true. Since my own sense of style and a fake crooked smile were a source of absurdity too. Elvis Presley didn't like Tampa. He said the cops were too mean. I watched him crawl in the back of a pink Cadillac with a girl who couldn't have been 17. Thanks very much. John, we can do this forever, and we might if nobody tells us, don't do any more of that. I don't know. Oh, is that what it says on Facebook? I hate Facebook. I hate. What time is it? That? Doesn't mean anything to me. It's 9:06.
Don't know what that means either.
And we go till 10:30.
We never learn time in school.
Yeah, that's a holy smokes. That's the. All right then. Okay, time for a couple more jokes. And Facebook. That's the. No, we'll roll right on. This She was some form of magic, mythical child bride, and I walked on hot coals to stand by her side. She taught me grand lessons while I was still grieving. She filed applications and talked about leaving. I used to read Proust to her till I got used to her. Then I just sang her Ernie Cato. My blood was too red and the wine went to her head. I resigned myself to watching her go. She stooped to conquer, she showed me pure joy. She flirted in German and I tried to be coy. All the saints in the family, all the ghosts in the hall, all the savage pastimes that I can recall. She read Dr. Seuss to me till she got used to me. Then she just sang me Billie Holiday. The wine went to her head and my blood was too red. She talked about going away. I found a hole in my soul where the heart all went. It's easy to love a memory once the romance is spent. Now all of the God and all of the gold, they don't touch the destiny when the dice has been rolled. I always read Proust to her till I got used to her. Now I'm just quoting Spike Jones. Blood went to my head and her wine was still red. She was leaving, I could feel it in my bones. Well, she read Dr. Seuss to me till she got used to me. Then she just sang me Lady Day. My blood was too red and the wine went to her head. And thank God she finally went away. Song gets meaner every time we do it. You got spats? Oh, there's a. Oh my, yeah. See? Did you see the spats picture?
Oh, that looks like pornography. I'm just kidding. I can't even kind of see that.
You've got a real kinkster there on your hands, Rob. That's it.
I don't have my. I can't. I was joking. I was kidding. If somebody says to me, "Hey, look at that spat. Hey, can you see that on their phone?" They just Google spats and pull that up. The first thing in my mind that I'm gonna think that I'm gonna prepare myself to see some weird kinky. Whatever kink you're into, I'm fine with that. But I just want to prepare myself that that's what I'm about to see.
I wish I had. I probably had that imagination a long time ago, but it's you left me behind. I don't sleep so well at night. I don't know why. If I turn off the lights,
I start to cry, thinking about the time that you've been gone, trying to make words fit and rhyme in a hillbilly song. I never count the stars, I got better things to do. Like counting strangers in bars, thinking about you. I can't stop the beating of my heart, counting out the time that we're apart. Blue dreams,
It's the same.
blue
Sorry
dreams.
for myself, calling out your name.
Every night is lonelier, it seems. Blue dreams. I've been crying, baby, and feeling blue. Put all my hours of pain into missing you. I've been wasting time, forever it seems. Never a reason to rhyme, just the stuff of blue dreams. I can't stop the beating of my heart, counting out the time that we're apart. Blue dreams,
Calling out your name.
blue
Feeling sorry for
dreams.
myself, calling out your name.
Every night is lonelier, it seems. Blue dreams, baby, blue dreams, blue dreams, blue dreams. Blue dreams.
Did you guys ask?
We're going to do just a couple more songs, and then obviously we can't come out and socialize. But don't forget your free merchandise, and not to mention the bargain merchandise, which is but free. That's a great bargain. That's it. Let's do Broke Heart Blues and Good Night Irene. This is the kind of thing I'd kind of like to leave you with. I've seen the things that gold can do to a man's soul. I've seen men laid too low to pray. Off as dirty coal. Flat on your back, the stars in the sky will show you the way. Men without work and men without hope on a city street. passive reverently rich on the sidewalk every may touch, but you can be sure that their eyes don't meet. Only the saints rely on the stars to show them the way. 'Cause there's gold on the moon and diamonds on the sky, streets filled with silver when the rain clouds cry. You can walk around heaven with diamond dust on your shoes, but for the grace of God, the broke-heart blues. Preachers gave away love and hope like they do bread and wine. If the meek inherit their share of the earth today, when hypocrisy fails with all it entails and gives us a sign, we'll look to the saints, we'll rely on the stars to show us the way. 'Cause there's gold on the moon and diamonds in the sky, streets filled with silver when the rain clouds cry. You can walk around heaven, diamond dust on your shoes, but for the grace of God, the broke-heart blues. Yeah, there's gold on the moon, there's diamonds in the sky, the streets run with silver when the rain clouds cry. You can walk around heaven with diamond dust on your shoes, but for the grace of God, the broke-heart blues. Thanks very much. Thanks to the Hideaway, and thank all of you, and everybody stay safe. We love you very much. Give us peace on earth and in this dreadful, dreadful world. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. Oh, good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dream. Sometimes I come from the country. Sometimes I come from the town. Sometimes I take a great notion like Ken Kesey to jump in the river and drown, singing Irene, good night. Irene, baby, baby, good night. Good night, Irene. Oh, good night, Irene. I'll kiss you in my dream. I asked your mother about you. Said I ought to think about telling you goodbye.
I won't do that. No, I can't do that. Think I'd rather take the morphine and die. Singing Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Well, good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Yeah, here we are. This is back where I started from. This is the half the world hates the other half the world. And it's come down to black and white. And when I was a kid in Birmingham, all those iconic photographs that you see, that's what I saw. You know, those water fountains that had the porcelain sign up them that said white only, and then there was a rusty old one that leaked and dribbled if there was any water coming out of it at all. It had a wooden sign above it that said colored. By the time we started to move down here, the thing that was changing any of that at all for me was nothing but the idea of rock and roll. It all came through Elvis, but I knew where it was coming from. It was coming from Chuck Berry, and it was coming from Bo Diddley and Fats Domino and Little Richard. My mother would take me to see all those gods and all those heroes. I knew what was going on. I always have. This is not my fight, but I'm fighting for a friend. Come on, rock and roll, save us again. Give us peace on earth and end this dreadful, dreadful war. Rebecca Pulley, Rob Pastore. I'm Ronny Elliott. Thanks to John. Thanks to everybody at the Hideaway. And thank all of you for coming out. We love you very much.
I'm stepping over traps that were set for the line. I'm hiding from pirates, waiting and crying. I'm praying for peace, counting on war. I'm living on crumbs and hoping for more. I only want to be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. Ones in love with the night, they light up like a cigarette. I only want to be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. The ones with a little to win and nothing to regret. Well, I'm trading rubies for gasoline. Marijuana makes me nervous. Gin makes me mean. I'm speaking in tongues, looking for what's true. I'm red on the outside, bluer than you. I only want to be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. Ones who love the night, they light up like a cigarette. I only want to be with the ones who burn, burn, burn. Ones with a fire in their soul.